What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for PlayPicks.com. Going to talk a little Sunday wildcard football. Chargers at the Ravens. But before we get going here, guys, please hit that subscribe button down below. Give us a thumbs up on this thing. Tell us in the comments who you want to play in this game. We got to the 1,000 subscribers. Thanks to you guys out there. Really appreciate the support. Please, want to get to 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000. Keep growing this thing. Hope you appreciate what we're doing here. Not trying to jump up and down about locks of the century or this is the play of the year, anything like that. Just want to give you really, really good information, and hopefully it helps you make an educated decision on where you want to put your money on these games here that we are going over, guys. Really appreciate everything that you're doing. And with that, be sure if you're watching this video before the kickoff, hopefully you are, look in the description below. There's a link to a free contest on DraftKings. It is a DFS contest where you can win a $12,000 package, a free entry into the DraftKings National Championship of Sports Betting. It is happening next weekend. So listen, the $10,000 entry plus travel money is included in the package here. You can play for $1 million first prize in that contest. Again, it is the DraftKings Sports Betting National Championship, and we are giving away a free seat. Hopefully you are in time to take advantage of that in this right here. So again, in the description down below. All right, as always, look, Nate's got things going here with the written content. We'll go over here to DraftKings and look at the lines here. After a while, we'll look at BetStars. We'll look at FanDuel as well. Okay, weather, low 50s, winds about 10 to 12 miles an hour, no chance of rain or snow, so nothing that we're really worried about right there. Nothing to for us to be really concerned with. Of course, if those winds happen to pick up, something that we might want to take into consideration. So we'll check that weather report, of course, in the morning, but it doesn't look like it's going to be too bad right now and affect things overall in this game. Chargers 12-4 on the season, 5-3 at home, 7-1 on the road. 9-7 against the spread, won 5 of their last 6 games going into the postseason here, getting a pretty easy 23-9 win at Denver last week. Ravens, on the other hand, 10-6 on the season, 6-2 at home, 4-4 on the road, 8-8 against the spread so far this season. Won 6 of their final 7 games, of course, after Lamar Jackson took over at quarterback. They're held on for a 26-24 victory over the Browns that got him into the playoffs to begin with. You know, again, if they'd have lost that game, they wouldn't even be here. We'll scroll down a little bit if you guys want to read along as we take a look at the lines here. At DraftKings, 888, FanDuel, and BetStars, of course, you can click on all these. This is what happened at the time of the publishing of this article. We'll take a look, kind of a live look here over at DraftKings. We got 3 still, 41.5 on that total. You're getting plus 125 on the money line if you want to go with the Chargers here. In that one, of course, if you want to play at DraftKings, DKPicks.com, free $35 at DraftKings Sportsbook. All you have to do is just be located in New Jersey if you want to bet. BetStars here, they are at 3. They are at 41.5 as well. You can get Chargers at 130 there, actually. And then over at FanDuel, 2.5 over here. So if you like the Ravens, you're going to want to take advantage of that over here on FanDuel. 41.5 seems to be the going total in this thing right now. You're getting plus 132 over here on the Chargers if you want those guys there. Scroll down a little bit further. You can read along as we continue to go on here. 73% of the bets, 72% of the money on the Chargers to stay within a field goal in this thing. 61% of the bets on the over. Again, we normally see the majority of the bets on the over, but 62% of the money is on the under in this one. As you can see, that total's fallen. I mean, as we look at the article here that Nate wrote, it was at 42.5 at some places whenever this article was published, as we just saw across the board here. 41.5 at DraftKings, 41.5 at BetStars, and 41.5 over at FanDuel. Injuries, Chargers thought they were going to get back Hunter Henry for this game. Not going to be the case. He is going to sit out at least another week, so they will not have him for this week. Austin Eckler, running back, who's actually had a quietly really, really good season, kind of spelling Melvin Gordon and then stepping in when Melvin Gordon has been injured off and on so far this season. Questionable with a groin injury. He looks like he's going to give it a go, but again, groin injury with a running back, certainly something a little bit to be concerned there for the Ravens. Guard Alex Lewis likely to return from a 4-game absence for them. On the offensive side of the ball here, I'll scroll a little bit further for you guys to continue reading along on the article here. Chargers, 26.8 points per game. That is 8th in the NFL, 11th in total yards, averaging 372.6 yards per game. 10th in red zone touchdown percentage for the Chargers. So very good, very efficient when they get down into the red zone. 19th in rush attempts, 15th in rush yards, 7th though in rush yards per attempt. Now, Melvin Gordon, if you've been paying attention to the box scores, never really gets those crazy 23, 24, 25 carry games like you see with a lot of these bell cow running backs. He's just very efficient. So as you can tell, 7th in rush yards per attempt, even though they're only 19th in rush attempts and 15th actually in rush yards. 25th in pass attempts, but 10th in pass yards. So again, efficiency you're seeing from Phillip Rivers here. 3rd in the league in yards per pass attempt. So that is why you see that discrepancy there. Even though he's 25th in pass attempts, he's 10th in pass yards, and that's because he is actually 3rd in the league in yards per pass attempt. So getting a lot of chunk plays there for him as well. They are converting 39.5% of third downs. That is 16th in the NFL, so right dead there in the center as far as getting first downs on third down. And if you're looking for offensive line statistics here, 17th graded run blocking unit for the Chargers and 31st graded pass blocking unit, actually. So that pass blocking unit, Pro Football Focus doesn't like them too much. Scroll down a little bit further. You can see Gus Edwards, first touchdown of the game, plus 700 over there at BetStars. Ravens, 24.3 points per game, 13th in the NFL with that. 9th in total yards. They are averaging 374.9 yards per game. I know you wouldn't think that when you think of this Ravens offense here, but 374.9 yards per game. 20th in red zone touchdown percentage, however. So getting a lot of yards, getting to the red zone, not even in the top half of the league as far as punching it in as far as a touchdown goes. A lot of field goals in there. Of course, they have one of the best kickers of all time. 1st in rush attempts, 2nd in total rush yards. No shocker here. Of course, when Lamar Jackson took over, this just became an absolute rushing team here. 15th in rush yards per attempt, 17th in pass attempts, 22nd in total pass yards, 23rd in pass yards per attempt. This certainly has not gotten any better since Jackson took over. Of course, he's a very unpolished passer and things like that, so those numbers kind of fall in line. Probably fell off a whole lot over the course of the season after he replaced Flacco. They are converting 45% of third downs. However, that is 6th best in the entire NFL. So this team is really good on third down, probably because they find themselves running the ball so often. So even if it's getting 3 or 4 yards here and there, they're probably finding themselves on third and short a lot of times here. So doing well there. Offensive line grades, 4th best run blocking unit. You can see all the success they're having. So the run blocking's been very good for them. 11th best pass blocking unit. Let me scroll a little bit further here. Keenan Allen, 100+ receiving yards and a Chargers win, plus 370 over at FanDuel, if you like some of these weird props that these sites are running. Pace, Chargers, 32nd, the very slowest team in all of the NFL. Ravens are the 4th fastest team in all of the NFL. So basically what we can expect here is the Chargers to run a few more plays than usual, the Ravens to run fewer plays than usual, because, I mean, listen, you're going to have a slower team, so the Ravens are not going to run as many plays, and then you're going to have a faster team on the Ravens side, so the Chargers will have to run a few more plays than they usually do. On the defensive side of the ball, Chargers defense allowing 20.6 points per game. That is 8th in the NFL. Good defense, 8th overall DVOA, 16th overall by Pro Football Focus, so they kind of grade them kind of middle of the pack. Allowing 333.7 yards per game. That is 9th in the NFL. Giving up 105.8 rush yards per game. That is also 9th in the NFL. So top 10 in yards per game, top 10 rush yards per game allowed. 12th in rush yards per attempt, only giving up 4.3 yards per carry there. 11th graded pass rush. Of course, Bosa, a big part of all of that there. 3rd graded pass coverage unit. This has actually been outstanding. This was one of the very big strengths of this team, and they have really been shutting down pass games all year long. And again, they're going against a guy that doesn't pass the ball very well in Jackson. 9th in pass yards per game allowed. 11th in pass yards per attempt allowed. So you can see this defense constantly in kind of that top 10, top 12. So the upper third, upper 10, top 10 of the league in all these categories, allowing their opponents to convert 39.1% of third downs. That's 18th in the league, actually. So haven't been great on third down. As far as individual matchups, really stout against quarterbacks and wide receivers. And you can see that obviously in the coverage grade and stuff that we talked about. Scroll down a little bit further for you here to keep on reading along as we keep going. Ravens defense allowing 17.9 points per game. That is the 2nd best in all of the NFL. 3rd overall DVOA, 9th overall by Pro Football Focus. So again, super, super good defense here, allowing 292.9 yards per game. That is actually the very best total in the league, even better than what the Bears are doing over there, giving up just 82.9 rush yards per game. That is 4th best in the NFL, just 3.7 yards per attempt. That's 3rd best in the league. So you have a very, very elite rush defense here for this Ravens squad. Going up against Melvin Gordon and Austin Eckler has been a pretty good 1-2 punch. If Eckler can't go, Justin Jackson will go for them. And, he's been a decent little fill-in for them as well. 13th graded pass rush, 10th graded pass coverage unit, 5th in pass yards per game allowed, giving up just 210 yards per game. So again, we're just talking about 2 good defenses here. 2nd in pass yards per attempt allowed. Opponents are converting just 34.1% of 3rd downs against this team. So they are really, really good, not only against the run, not only against the pass, but they're really good at getting the teams off the field on 3rd down as well. They're top 7 in the league against quarterbacks, running backs, and wide receivers. Scroll a little bit further here. Of course, as I mentioned, $35 absolutely free at DraftKings. So all you have to do, you can click the link within the article, or if you're watching this just on YouTube or something, there's a link in the description below, or you just go straight to dkpicks.com and you can take advantage of that. So let's make a case for the over in this one. I mean, look, the obvious thing here, we got a 41.5 point total here. By today's NFL standards, that's incredibly low. I mean, just ridiculously low, right? So that could be one case just right off the bat for the over here. The Ravens have an elite defense. There's no doubt about that. However, you're looking at this Chargers team that is one of the more well-balanced teams out there. I mean, a really solid run game with Gordon and Eckler. As I mentioned, if Eckler can't go, Justin Jackson's been a nice little guy that can spell Gordon here. You have Keenan Allen on the receiving end. Mike Williams has come along. You got Tyrell Williams as well. So, I mean, there's definitely some talent here and a very well-rounded. Phillip Rivers, kind of underrated, man, but Phillip Rivers has just been really, really good this year. If you watch Phillip Rivers, if you look at the box scores, if you look at the tape, guy's been really, really good. So keep in mind on this Ravens team as well. I mean, these numbers are great, and if you watch the team, you can tell it's a very, very good defense. But just keep in mind they played the Bills, they played the Bengals twice, they played the Browns before Baker Mayfield took over at quarterback there. They played the Titans, they played the Ravens, they played the Bucks, they played the very underperforming Falcons team. So there were a lot of soft spots on the schedule as well. So it wasn't like they were playing, super powerhouses week in and week out here. One of the cases for the overall could be maybe that the Chargers actually benefit from these 2 teams played just 2 weeks ago. So maybe the Chargers kind of figured some things out about this defense, and maybe this is actually a benefit for them. So maybe that could help this thing tilt to the over here. And if you look at the last game they played, it was about as bad a game as the Chargers could possibly play. There still was 32 points scored in the game. So even if you get just an average game from the Chargers in this thing, and if you think that the Ravens will have some success against this Chargers team as well, then you would get over that 41.5 point number there as well. Case for the under here, I think it's pretty obvious. Really, really, really good defenses here, and the best defense in the league, top to bottom. Whenever you, for my money anyway, in this Ravens team, I understand there are some people who would argue the Bears, and I'm not going to say that it's apples and oranges here. I mean, I think that both of these kind of 1A, 1B here for sure. Taking nothing away from the Bears, they're friggin' amazing as well. And, another case for the under here could just be them playing 2 weeks ago actually is a negative effect, right? So maybe that they found out some tendencies from the other teams. Maybe they figured out some of the personnel packages that they run certain plays out of certain things, and they're going to know what's coming and whatnot. So maybe maybe it actually works as a detriment that they played so recently as far as points being scored in this thing. Another way that this thing could go under here, the Chargers are traveling across the country to play an early game. The NFL did them no favors whatsoever in this thing by scheduling this thing in West Coast time. It would be 10 o'clock in the morning for them starting this. So it's, 1 o'clock Eastern, but it's going to be 10 o'clock in the morning, in Charger time here. And we've seen a lot of statistics here to back up the fact that these teams flying across the country playing these early games don't play nearly as well. And of course, the Chargers kind of one of the slower starting teams as it is anyway in the NFL. As far as player props go in this thing, I'm looking kind of like a yes on a touchdown for Lamar Jackson. If you can find that, obviously, I think that this is certainly, he kind of calls his own number whenever they get down into the red zone there, and just so explosive here I think a yes on him, and even if you want to take a flyer on him scoring like a yes on the first touchdown, I think is even something I would kind of look at there as well. One of the things you might want to look at, if you think this Ravens team is going to, let's say you think they're going to beat the hell out of the Chargers here, then you're going to want to be looking at overs on pass attempts for Rivers, maybe even pass yards, maybe receptions for Keenan Allen, different things like that. Because certainly if they get down, they're going to have to abandon the run and just start passing the ball all over the place. So certain kind of correlated plays, how you think that this game is going to play out as well. Let's talk about the bets here. I will let you know I have this tied into a teaser with the Colts. Colts already got home for me. I also have this tied into a teaser with the Seahawks. I am filming this before that game's going, so don't know if that one's still live or not, but I do have this thing teased up at 9 points. Really, the reason I went ahead and did that was because I felt it was such a strong play, the teaser on the Colts. And of course, we've only got 4 games and I need to lock it up into something. And so, you have to have 2 legs of a teaser. I figured this would be kind of the way that I wanted to go with this. If I was playing this thing straight up, if I could find the 3, I don't think it's a bad bet to play the Chargers here at 3. Just certainly liked it so much better in a teaser in this thing. I mean, listen, I think the real play for me is probably still going to be an under. And maybe if I was playing a single game thing here, maybe I would tease the Chargers in the under here. I mean, I think that there is a decent chance both of these defenses really just kind of lock down these 2 teams here. We talked about how incredibly strong both of these teams are, really, really kind of in the top 10 in every single defensive category that there's going to be. And at the end of the day, the only way I see this kind of getting away here would be if somehow the Chargers, which again has not been their strong suit so far this year, come out and punch the Ravens in the mouth early here. Now, if that were to be the case, Lamar Jackson's just not a very good passer right now. I mean, if you watch these games, he is electric running the ball. Just looks just so incredibly fluid. He's so fast, great vision, all of those things. But man, you see some real holes when he is passing the ball. You can see him missing wide open receivers. You can see him kind of like being timid and things like that. And if this ever came down to a fact, which you haven't seen so far with the Ravens because their defense is so good. However, if something were to slip up here and they had to play from, like a 2-score deficit here and they kind of had to abandon the run and Lamar Jackson had to throw the ball a ton, that's how I see this thing could kind of be getting out of hand here. So I mean, again, wouldn't blame you one bit if you wanted to even just take the Chargers on the money line if it came down to, if that's how you think that this game could play out here. Guys, again, really, really appreciate all the support here on the channel. I mean, I think you like, I can tell by the rapid growth of this thing, you like what we're doing here. We're trying to give you as much information as humanly possible. We're spending hours researching these games here so that you can get the stats here and make an educated decision on how you want to put your money down. You can follow us, you can fade us, you can do the different things like that. I don't really care one way or the other. I just want you to feel good about the information that we're relaying here and hopefully helps you make a good bet somewhere along the way, whether it be a total, whether it be a side, whether it be you say, you know what, I listen to that and I want to pass on this game. If that's the case, then either way, that's still doing our job here. So appreciate everything again. Please hit that subscribe button. Please hit the thumbs up on this thing. And in the comment section, let us know how you're going to play. If you are catching this video before kickoff, go in the description down below, click the link, play the DFS contest over at DraftKings. You might can win a free $12K package to their national championship, their sports betting national championship, where the first prize in that thing is going to be $1 million. So take advantage of that. It's free. Our gift to you. Thanks to our friends at DraftKings on that, guys. Appreciate everything. We will see you for all the other games as they continue to come up here.